Alrighty, guys. welcome. We're doing the 1990 NLCS. This is game number 2. Very interesting series between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds. This is game number 2 in Cincinnati. This is a game from October 5th, 1990. Where were you? All right, so let's look at the starting lineups here for the two teams. We have Gary Reedus at first base. He's going to be a new addition here. Jay Bell at short, Andy Van Slyke in center field, Bobby Bonilla in right field. Actually, is that correct? Let me just double check. I have a feeling, I'm just feeling, yeah, okay, that's right. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was correct. All right, so Andy Van Slyke in center, Bobby Bonilla in right, Barry Bonds in left, Jeff King at third, Don Slott catching today, so that is a change for Pittsburgh. Second base, Jose Lind and Doug Drabek. So the Pirates win game number 1 and then come back with their ace of the staff, Doug Drabek. We'll look at him in a little bit. Let's take a look at the Cincinnati lineup. It's going to be Barry Larkin as short, Herm Winningham Winningham in center field. He's a new addition. Paul O'Neill in right, Eric Davis in left, Hal Morris at first base, Chris Sabo at third, Jose Oliver, the catcher, second baseman Mariano Duncan, and pitching today, Tom Browning, the pitcher. So that is your starting lineups. Look at Tom Browning's card here. He's a left-hander. Let's see. Right-handers batted 269. Left-handers batted 253. He is a minus 10 to hold rating, so not hopefully going to give up much steals. And you combine that with the new catcher in there, Joe Oliver. Joe Oliver has an arm of minus 8. So between Browning and Oliver, it's minus 18 to steals. So pretty tough job. Hey, Ken Castro, my good friend, what's going on? How come you signed up for your interview day? Come on, Ken, let's get busy. Get on that. Speaking of our interview day, we have Retro Sports Network. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock here on my channel, we're going to be interviewing Ron Juckett and get to talk to him. Hopefully everyone will be able to stop by and say hello, listen to what's going on, and we'll have a good time talking to Ron, learn a little bit about him and such. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. Ken Castro, wonderful, and I'm glad you could make it by. So thanks so much. Appreciate it. So, Tom Browning, left-hander, 253, right-handers, 269, minus 10 to hold. And, so we're going to be playing Dice Baseball 1990, game number 2. And we're going to go ahead and get things rolling. Just one bit of information. If you did not watch, 8 p.m. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, 8 p.m., Ron Juckett interview for Ron Juckett. So if you haven't watched game number 1 and you're just catching up here, so when we roll the dice, all right, the first numbers that come up, 8, 7, in this case 87, which is the red dice and the white dice. Oh, well, I'll just say 86 now. Makes it a little easier. Those numbers will tell you whether or not it's in the control rating of the pitcher. So 10 to 54 would be in Tom Browning. Otherwise, you come off the batter's card. And the second dice numbers are going to be the 7 and the 7 there, and then that'll give us determination of which what was the result of the actual play. So tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Ron Juckett, Retro Sports Network. Looking forward to interviewing him. He'll be our first interview. We got baseball demos. We did a test with him last night. He's good to go. We're scheduling him for Saturday at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to stop by for that. Put that on your schedules as well. And we also have Stratomatic Delaware. He's not It's scheduled until February 11th. And let's see, who else do we have? We have um, Anthony from Bleacher Bum Gaming, and he's coming on. Date to be determined shortly. So, trying to interview all of our different people out there. Ken Castro, if he can get off and get on and catch up with everything, hopefully we'll get a chance to talk with Ken as well. All right, let's get things going here. Gary Reedus, he's in the lineup today because he faces off against left-handers. 262 average versus lefties versus righties. He only had 25 at-bats with only 3 hits during the regular season. Doesn't hit righties very well. So Gary Reedus is in the lineup because Tom Browning is a lefty. So lefty-righty matchup. And here we go. Start of game number 2. The Cincinnati faithful are on their feet. The towels are waving. Browning steps to the plate and throws it, and let's see what comes of it. It's an 89, so it's going to come off of the batter's card. It's a 54 against a lefty. 54 is a ground out A. 9 tells us where the position is. So ground out to 9 is going to be the shortstop. We have to check the shortstop for an error. Shortstop is going to be J. Bell. So you check for errors anytime the result comes off the batter's card, not off the pitcher's card. So we just quickly check his defensive rating. He's a 93. So 93 or less, he'll be okay. We'll look at the first number. It's a 28. It's fine. So that's going to be a ground ball hit to short. 1 away. We go to J. Bell. Speaking of J. Bell, he just made the good play there at short. He's a right-hander. He's 272 versus left-handers. 2 home runs, 3 stolen bases. Struck out 42 times in the regular season. That means nothing here in the playoffs. Tribe fan, what's going on, my friend? Tribe fan 879. Check out his channel as well. He is doing some replays if you are a sports fanatic. And we're not sure why Tribe Fan hasn't signed up for his interview yet. He's waiting to see how things go with our good friend Ron Juckett before he signs up. I'm not sure. 69. So once again off the batter's card. This time 0-6 versus the lefty. 0-6 going to be a walk. So we got a walk by J. Bell, second batter in. He's a steal of 47, as we talked about, if you're just catching up. A hold rating of -10 for Browning, -8 for Joe Oliver. So you're going to subtract 18 to that. This is going to give you a 29% chance of making a steal. So Jay Bell's not probably going anywhere. But 1 on, nobody out. I'm sorry, 1 out here in the bottom top of the first. Ugh, all thrown off here. No computer. Oh, geez. Oh, Tribe fan. No computer. That's got to hurt. Well, I know I'm doing my interview with Dave. He's going to try and do it off his phone. So I don't know if that's an option for you or not. But that brings up Andy Van Slyke. So this is a 10. This is going to come off of Browning's card. And it's a 26 versus a lefty. 2-6 is going to be a strikeout. So Browning comes back with the strikeout, 2 away now. And that's going to bring up Bobby Bonilla. I do have, as I promised all you, if you watched the first game of the series, it was a little slow because I had to keep looking up charts and everything on my other computer screen. Well, I'll tell you what, we got Baseball Demo, Dave from Baseball Demo, David, I think his name's David. He's coming on Saturday at 3 o'clock. That's going to be his scheduled time, unless something comes up between now and then. But we're hoping to do it Saturday at 3 o'clock. And you can come and check that out. Or if you miss that stream for whatever reason, you can check it out later here on YouTube. And you can see how it goes. And we did a test session last night because I wasn't sure how things were going to go because he only had like a really old laptop, and I'm like, well, let's try your phone and let's see how it goes. It was, of course, a little when he was standing there with the phone, and every time he kind of moved, it kind of went out of focus, and didn't work really well. But I told him if he was just set his phone down somewhere, like a desk or whatever, I think everything would be just fine. So be sure to tune in Saturday and check that out. All right, so that brings up Bobby Bonilla. Of course, we're doing Retro Sports Network tomorrow, 8 o'clock here on my channel. Bobby Bonilla, the switch hitter. She's going to be batting from the right-hand side. 1-on-2 away here in the top of the first. The faithful here, the Reds fans on their feet, cheering on Tom Browning, trying to get him out of the first inning. It's a 40. A 40 is going to be off of Tom Browning. It's a 16 versus a right-hander. 16. That's going to be a single into right field. A single into right. And good thing I have my cheats right here. So a single on to right field. You're going to subtract nothing because there's 2 outs. But you are going to take plus or minus the right fielder's arm, and you're going to compare that to the runner's speed. So Jay Bell, if we go back for just a second, his speed's an 80, very fast runner, pretty fast. I wouldn't say super fast. And we're going to take that 80, and we're going to subtract. Oh, good Lord! How did I switch out of this? There we go. We're going to subtract 13 from that. That's going to give it a 67% chance. 67, 68, 70, yeah. So 67% chance of making it first to third on the single. And you know what? He's going to go for it, and he's going to challenge. He's going to challenge Paul O'Neill's arm. Here we go. 67 or less. We're going to look at the first percentile number. It is a 0-2. He's in there on the single, and advancing to third on the play is going to be Jay Bell, and runners on the corners with 2 away. Bobby Bonilla with the single. That brings up Barry Bonds. And we're going to go ahead and see how Barry Bonds handles here. He's a lefty as well. Lefty-lefty matchup, Barry Bonds. And this is interesting because if you look at game number 2, well, I won't spoil it, but here we go. It's the 38, so it's coming off of Browning's card, and it's a 35 versus a left-hander. 35 is going to be a strikeout. So Tom Browning, a little bit of trouble in the first inning, but strikes out Bonds, swinging at the Nietzsche, as Stratomatic Doer likes to say. That's going to do it for the first inning. So no 1 hit, no runs, no errors. We go to the bottom of the first. It is still scoreless. That brings up the ace of the staff for the Pirates, Doug Drabeck. The Pirates won game number 1 without their ace on the hill, but they're hoping now they can go up 2 games to none. We shall see how that works out. Doug Drabeck, lefties batted .244, right-handers only .191. Very good record there. He had a 2.76 ERA, 22-6 for his 1990 season. He'll be facing off against Barry Larkin to start things off here for the Reds in shortstop. And I do have all the charts. I think I was mentioning I have all the charts printed out. They're laid out all over the table, so we'll have hopefully very quick, able to look up things very quickly and easily, and we'll get this game rolling through in one quick session for you all. So it's a 69, which is just outside of Drabeck's range. He is 10-66. So it's coming off of Barry Larkin's 57 against a right-hander. 57 is a ground ball out B. Ground out ball is hit to 9. He is a right-handed batter. A 9 actually is second base. So we'd have to check second base, which happens to be Jose Lind. He's got a defense of 97. So the only error will be a 98 or 99 on the play. And it is a 27, so it's a good play. It's a ground ball out. 1 away. It brings up Herb Whittingham. Herb's in the lineup today. He's going to be facing off against Doug Drabeck. He batted .278 against right-handers. Hit 2 home runs, 5 stolen bases against righties. Herb in the lineup today. Left-hander. It's a 62, so 62 is coming off of Drabeck's card because he's 10-66. It's a 78 against lefties. 78 versus lefties is going to be a flyout. 78 flyout with a lefty up, 78 is going to be to center field. So it's a fly ball to center. Of course, we don't check for an error because it came off the pitcher's card. And that's going to be a fly ball to center. So 2 outs, two quick outs by Doug Drabeck. That brings up Paul O'Neill here. This is a skinny Bonds. If you go back and watch, this is the reason I started. No roll. I'm just going to move it down so we don't get distracted. So I went to Google, and I know that we were doing some replays, right? Or I went to YouTube, right? And I just said, oh, let's see what's going on in baseball, say 1990, and I just happened to click on it, and you can see the 1990 NLCS Game 1 Pirates versus Braves. So I started watching that, and I was like, oh, this is a really good series. I should probably play that. So that's kind of how I know that Baseball Demos is doing a 1970 replay. I know that Al is doing a 1978 replay or 1976 replay. And Clinton Parks is also doing a 1970s replay. So I was thinking, well, what's going on in 1990? Let's try something that nobody else is doing. And so I was like, yeah. So you can actually go back and watch the games. It's really cool because I watched game number 1. Unfortunately, if you're planning on doing this, there is no videos for game number 2. There is one video, and it's just like a 30-second highlight video of one of the plays that happened. But every other game, game 1, game 3, game 4, game 5, and game 6 are all online, and you can watch all 3 of these games. Unfortunately, game 2 is not in there, but there was one super cool special play, and I'm not going to ruin it because it might happen. It almost already happened in the top of the first inning, if anybody remembers. All right, so that brings up Paul O'Neill. Speaking of the special play, hint, hint. Paul O'Neill's there. He's a lefty against Doug Drabeck. He batted .274 against right-handers. Lefties off of Drabeck batted .244. Let's see what happens. No one on, 2 away here in the bottom of the first. And away we go. It is a 68. So once again, just outside of Drabeck's range. 54 righty. 54 is going to be a ground ball. 8 again is going to be position. So you look at the second number that tells us which position it's going to end up going to. It's a left-handed batter, so position 8 goes to second base. So once again, we just have to check Lynn's defense. He's in 97, so we roll and just make sure he doesn't make an error. And it's a 0-1, so he makes that clean. It's going to be a ground ball out, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. So we go to the top of the second. So much better when you don't have to look up chart after chart after chart. Just sitting here with my little charts in front of me is so much better. The first game, I actually had the charts on the computer, and I was trying to move them back and forth, and blah blah blah. It just took forever. So I took them to work today. I printed them all off, so now I've got all the sheets kind of just spread out all over my desk. There's like 9 different charts that I need to have access to. So that brings us to the top of the second, and due up, Jeff King. Jeff King is the third baseman facing off, excuse me, against lefty. You can see King there, 264 average against lefties, 214. That's why he's in the game today to face off against the lefty, Tom Browning. And away we go here in the top of the second. It's a 14, so it's coming off of Browning's card. 74 right-hander is going to be a line out, and it is a 4 for the line out with a right-hander up, and that's going to second base. So a line out to second baseman. And that would have taken me a lot longer in the first game just to find the chart, look it all up. And since I've got the printouts, I don't have to worry about that. That brings up Don Slott, the catcher today for Pittsburgh. He has a -3 arm. And no roll. Just smooth this on the way. Drabeck is a -4 so if Cincinnati gets any base runners, it's going to be -4 and a -3, so a total of -7. You compare that to Cincinnati, who is a -18, You can tell advantage goes to Cincinnati, keeping the running game from hurting them at least. So, all right, one out here in the top of the first. Don Slot, the catcher. And we have us. Dice are fighting over position. And where's it going to fall? It's going to be a 90. So 90 is coming off of Don Slot. It is a 0-7 lefty, and that's going to be a walk. So Don Slot takes a walk down to first base, not intentional. So Don Slot steal rating's a 30. You subtract 10 for the pitcher, 8 for the catcher. You're going to drop down to a 12% chance of successful stealing. I don't think Don Slot's going anywhere. That does bring up Jose Lean, though. Jose Lean, the 8th position. Jose Lean, they could try to sacrifice, but with the pitcher coming up, they can, let the pitcher try to do that possibly. What is his rating there on bunting? 70. He's okay bunter, but this early in the game, I was going to say they're not doing that. And Jose Lean, the right-hander, versus Tom Browning, the lefty. So this is a 60. So this one is going to come off the batter's card because 10 to 54. So if it's higher than 54, it's going to come off the batter's card. It's a 22 versus a left-hander. 22 is going to be a single into right field. So the runner on first happens to be Don Slot. He's got a run or speed rating of 79. If he wants to go first to third, it was hit to, I'm sorry, where was it hit? 22 is to right field. So a single into right field, you're going to subtract 10 from the speed of the runner and then the thrower's arm. In this case, the thrower happens to be Paul O'Neill is a minus 13. So you're going to subtract 23 to your speed rating of, what do we say? Don Slot's speed rating was 79. So 23 is going to be, what, 56% chance of making it, about a 50-50 shot. With the pitcher coming up, no, they're not going to do it. They're going to let the pitcher maybe try to sacrifice. It's a single. Going to second is going to be Slot. So 2 men on here. Only 1 out. That brings up the Pirates pitcher card. So all of the Pirates, they don't each individually have their own pitching or batting card. You just use a combined card, which I think is it's a cool idea. Kind of takes some of the specialness away because you might have a pitcher that has it's really good at batting, like a Wainwright or maybe Bumgardner or somebody like that. But I think for ease of creating the game and everything, I think it's probably a good idea because you're not going to end up having that many pitchers. So, you're not spending a lot of time and effort. The creator of the game isn't spending a lot of time and effort just trying to figure out crappy pitcher cards for pitchers. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So that's so they just combine all the stats into one and give one pitcher card, so it doesn't matter who's batting. So we are going to try to sacrifice. Corners are going to come in, so I need to sacrifice. What is his sacrifice? Bunt, 95. He's a very good bunter as well. Or Pittsburgh was, anyways. Batting for a hit. No, I want the sacrifice. Sacrifice. Here it is. So he has a bunt rating of 95. So all we do is simply roll percentile to see the results of the bunt. We're playing corners in. Runners at second and third. Only 1 out. And let's see what happens. So we're going to take the first roll, which is 86. So 83 to 86 is first to lead base out, batter safe. No sack. So first to lead base out. So in this case, he must have actually they must get the lead first to lead base out. Batter safe, no sacrifice. Lead base out. So in this case, it's going to be a fielder's choice. We're going to call it out at third. We're going to call it a. We'll just. It doesn't really matter. So out at third, he goes to second. Pitcher on first. So they get the lead runner. Cincinnati playing some good defense there. Sacrifice does not work in this case. Usually in this game, for the batters or for, let's just say, offense in general, usually low numbers rule in just about everything. You can see all the hits and everything are on the lower end, and high numbers are usually bad, whether you're trying to steal bases or you're trying to hit and run or anything like that. So usually low rolls. It just so happens 86 is outside the range. He is he's on the top end chart, with a 95. He's on the top end of the chart. Unfortunately, 83 to 86 is first to lead base out, batter save. Oh, I see. It's first. So yeah, it was first to. Yeah. So we're back up to the top of the lineup. Doesn't matter. Again, I just use bowl score for my own sanity, so I know what's going on. I know what players are in what position, what they had done earlier. It just prevents me from having to do it, on pen and paper here and slow things down, because I can use ball score just to do it. But it does take me a lot of extra time pre-game to do all that stuff. So anyways, runners at first and seconds. 2 away now for Gary Redis. Right-hander versus Tom Browning. Redis hit into shortstop first time up. That's a 78. So this is coming off of Redis' card, outside the range. And a 25. Usually you're probably a good number, 2-5. 2-5 is going to be a single into right field. Single into right field, and that's probably going to be good to score at least one. So if we look at our to go into right field, so runner going home from second base on a single, you're going to subtract 10 from the run rating. If there's 2 outs, you don't subtract anything. So lead runner in this case is going to be Jose Lind. He's got a run rating or speed rating of 75. It's going to right field, so that's going to be minus 13 because of Paul O'Neill, though. So 75 minus 13 is 62% chance to come home. He's going to try. So here's the throw. Throw's coming home from O'Neill, cannon arm, and at the plate, slide, and 0-5. He's in there just fine. He's safe. And everyone moves up on the play at home. So as a defense, you can choose to not let anyone else advance, or you can try to throw them out. So they tried to throw them out. So that is going to be single to right field. Scoring is going to be Jose Lind, and advancing to second is Draybeck. And actually, he's going to advance to third on the throw home. So he's going to advance. So still runners at the corners, 2 away, and Pittsburgh's on the board here early on the RBI single by Gary Redis. It brings up Jay Bell, who walked his first time up. So Browning giving up the go-ahead run here in the top of the second, 1-0 KC. Beecher Bums Gaming, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, tomorrow at 8, we're interviewing Ron Junkin. It'll be our first interview. Beecher Bums Gaming, speaking of which, we're going to schedule a date and a time with him as well. We're going to try and test with him last night. Unfortunately, we just didn't hook up, but hopefully we'll be able to do that shortly and get him scheduled for his interview. So Jay Bell, 86 is going to come off of Jay Bell's card. And it's a 10 versus a lefty. 10 versus a lefty is a walk, so he's going to walk the bases loaded. Walk the bases loaded. here in the top of the second. So nowhere to put Andy Van Slyke. Andy Van Slyke and Pittsburgh trying to take a 2-0 lead here. They could blow things open here in the second inning. Andy Van Slyke, Tom Browning, lefty-lefty matchup. Van Slyke batted .262 against lefties. It's a 53-5-3, so this is going to come off of Browning's card. 0-9 lefty is going to be a single into left field. Single into left, scores a run. In comes Doug Drabeck, and let's see if they're going to try to score. It's going to be Gary Reedus coming from, let's see, who's on third? That's Drabeck. Who's on second? Reedus. All right, Reedus has got a speed of 79. Right, and it was into left field this time, so that's going to be Eric Davis. He's got a -9. So speed of 70 speed of 79 minus 9 is 70% chance. And they're going to send him, they're going to try and send him. They're going to try and send him home. Eric Davis, he's going to try and get him out at the plate. Let's see, 70% chance of making it. And it's a 94. Eric Davis throws him out at the plate, but the run does score on the single by Van Slyke. So run scores, and you're going to be out at home, my friend. Reedus cannot make it as a quick tag. That's going to be an assist by the left fielder. That's Eric Davis, and it's going to be a put out by the catcher at home. And it's a bang-bang play, but that keeps the run off the board. But 2 runs do cross there in the top of the first inning. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh. We go to the bottom of the second. Doug Drabeck now with a 2-run lead. Check up here. How do you like using iScore? This is ball score. I'm not sure if iScore and ball score are the same thing, but I like ball score. I don't know if it's called iScore or ball score. I just call it ball score. All right, it brings up Eric Davis, the man of the hour for Cincinnati there, as he threw out the runner at home. I like ball score. I think it's really good. Takes a little bit of a learning curve, but I think it's easy to add players in, and you can add ratings. I don't spend the time to actually do that, but yeah, it's really good. I like it. So 74, it's coming off Eric Davis. That's a 0-1. That's going to be a walk. Usually, if anything like 5 or less is a walk. So Eric Davis with the walk. And let's see, he's got a steal rating of 76, -4. And what did we say the catcher was? He's a minus, Don saw 3. So a total of -7. So he's got a steal of 76. That would be 69% chance. Do you send Eric Davis to try and stay out of the double play? Get a runner in scoring position with no one out. Do you risk it? Down 2-0. Eric Davis on the season versus left-handers. He stole 6 bases. So not a horrible stealer. That was 6 out of 4. He only had 43 hits, so about 6 goes into 43 how many times? Well, 8. No, let's see. He had 43 hits. He got to subtract 8 because 8 of them were home runs, so he couldn't have been on base then. So, I mean, about 1 every 2 or 3 times he was on with the signal he tried. I'm going to send him. Might be the bad play here, but I'm going to send him. I'm going to send him. Go, Eric, go. He's off on the, 86 though, thrown out. Damn, thrown out. Eric Davis caught stealing second, unfortunately. But you got to put the pressure on. And the reason I did that, if you go back and you watch games 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Cincinnati was running. They were trying to stretch singles into doubles. They were really putting the pressure on Pittsburgh. So I'm kind of trying to do the same thing. It might not work out the same, but I'm trying to do the same thing. They were um, no roll here. Let me just look at the stats here. Does it tell us how many stolen bases? Stolen bases. Barry Larkin had 2, Paul O'Neill had 1, and Herb Winningham had 1. So they had 4 stolen bases during the game. So it's they were definitely trying to take every opportunity. And like I said, they had a good shot at it. It just didn't work out. So Hal Morris against Doug Drabeck. Drabeck here. Bases clear. 1 away here in the bottom of the second inning. That's a 58. It's coming off a Drabeck's card. 9-0 versus a lefty is going to be a flyout. 90 on the flyout is going to be a left field. So fly out to left field. We do need to check the left fielder's defense, which is 95. Make sure he doesn't make an error. Barry Bonds, unless it's 96 or higher, it's a 51. So easy fly ball to left field. 1 away. That brings up Chris Sabo. Sabo, the third baseman with the iconic glasses there. Whenever I think of, when if anybody showed me a picture and you didn't show me the face of the player, but you just showed me the glasses, I would know exactly who it was. 39, that's going to be off a Drabeck's card, 3-9, and it's a 2-2 right-hander. 2-2 is going to be a strikeout. So Drabeck only will give up a home run versus righties out of 20. He almost hit it, 22, but that's going to be a strikeout. The first strikeout for Doug Drabeck, and that's going to do it for the second inning. We're on to the third here in Riverfront Stadium. Cincinnati. Tom Browning comes back out. He's going to be facing off against Bobby Bonilla here. Bobby Bonilla hit a single his first time up. And Bobby Bo versus Tom Browning. Away we go. 1-for-1 on the day. 44, so it's coming off of Browning. 71, he's going to be batting from the right hand. 71, it's going to be a line out. 71, so it's going to be a line out to the pitcher. Line out to the pitcher. Barry Bonds due up. He is struck out his first time up to end the first inning. Barry Bonds. This is the young, thin Barry Bonds. If you go back and watch that, those videos from 1990, I think it was actually game number 3 when they played their game in Pittsburgh. They actually interviewed Bobby Bonds, Barry Bonds' father there, and was talking about his son and what he was doing. He was pressing, squeezing the bat too hard, and you could see the ripples in his hand, and it was pretty interesting what he had to say. But yeah, so Barry Bonds didn't have a great series, but 70. That's going to be off of Bonds' card. 14 lefty. 14 is single into left field. We got to check the left fielder, which happens to be Eric Davis. He's a 97 defense, just to make sure he doesn't make a boo-boo on the play. And it's a 29, so single, no error on the play. Barry Bonds, he's got a steal of 91. You subtract, what are we, 18. So 90, 80, that'd be 80. Ooh, I think you got to go with Barry Bonds. I think you have to, even though it's a minus 18, because it's still going to be a 70. Let's see, 91, 81, 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, 74, 73%. 73% chance, yeah, sure, you got to send him, right? Barry Bonds, he's off on the run. Here we go. Barry Bonds, 73% chance of sliding in there safe, and it is a 93. Caught stealing. My goodness gracious. Caught stealing second base, Barry Bonds. Catcher with the putout. Joe Oliver throws a dart there. Might have been a half pitch out on the play, unfortunately. Brings up Jeff King. Jeff King versus Tom Browning. 32, so it's coming off of Browning's card. 60 right-handers, 60 ground ball C. 32 is going to be a 2 ground ball with a right-hander up. That's going to be a ground ball right in front of the plate. Catcher is going to make the play. Ground out to the catcher. Over to first. And that's going to do it. So 1 hit, no runs, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third. Cruising right along. Draybeck versus Joe Oliver made that great play. Put out Barry Bonds on the steal. And then fouls that up by getting the next runner out as well. So Joe Oliver gets the start in game number 2 versus Draybeck. Oliver, Draybeck, righty-righty. 13, so off of Draybeck. 37, right-hander. 37, struck him out. Second strikeout in a row for Draybeck. Facing off against Mariano Duncan. Mariano Duncan, the second baseman. He's got a pretty good speed rating on him, 80. Not very good at stealing, but. All right, 67. So that's coming off of Duncan, 59. Righty, 59. That's ground ball out. 67. So 7 on the right-hander is going to be down to third base. So ground out to third for the second out. That brings up the pitcher again. Red's card is just all the pitchers have the same card, which is easier for us simmers too, because we only have one card we have to worry about. Got to run. I'll check in and get the interview tomorrow, and I'll try and test when you get a chance. Take care, my friend. Yeah, I mean, if you want to test, it's great. Hope to see you tomorrow at 8, and then we can schedule your interview as well. So looking forward to it, my friend. Thank you very much. 98, this is coming off the Reds pitchers, 36 versus a right-hander, 36. That's going to be a strikeout. So Drug Draybeck throwing well here. Third strikeout of the game. We go to the top of the fourth, just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Game goes really quick when you don't have these pesky runners and have to look up charts and stuff. So on the top of 4, it's going to be Don Slott. Don Slott walked his first time up. Ended up getting thrown out at third on the sacrifice by Doug Draybeck in the bottom of the second inning. Don Slott, righty-lefty matchup. 82, so it's coming off a Slott. 53, lefty. Say strikeout, no error check needed. Strikeout for Browning. That is number 3 on the day for Browning. Jose Lind, who got a single his first time up. 18, so off of Browning's card. 82, right-hander is going to be a fly out. 82, he's a right-hander. 82 is a fly out. Behind the plate, the catcher makes the play, so a pop out to the catcher behind the plate. And that brings up the pitcher here in the bottom of the fourth. Browning versus Draybeck. 82, so off of Draybeck. 43, lefty. 43 is going to be a strikeout. So Draybeck down on the strikeout. So go to the bottom of the fourth. Draybeck comes back in. And facing off against the top of the lineup, Barry Larkin. Grounded to second his first time up. Trying to keep these cards nice and big so you can see the numbers at home. Hopefully that's working out for you guys. If Barry Larkin, Doug Drabick, righty. 17 off Drabick, 55, right-hander, 55, ground ball out. So a 55-5 with the right-hander is going to be to third base. So we do have to check the third baseman for an error. He's got a defense. Actually, Jeff King's only got a defense of 86. So before we put that in the system, let's just make sure it is a 20. So ground out to third for the out. All right, Larkin out. Herm Whittingham. Doug Drabick, lefty, righty. Herm's in there specifically to face off against the right-handers. Not very good against lefties. 50, so off of Drabeck, 0-2. Again, that's going to be a walk. And Steele, 68. He's going to lose 8. So it's a 60% chance. Steele. %60. Down 2-0 here, only in the fourth inning. Yep. Herb did get a stolen base in the game, the actual live game, so we're going to give Herm his shot, and it is a 13 Herm with a stolen base. Steals second, so Herm on to second. That brings up Paul O'Neill. Now Herm has got a speed of 78, so we'll keep that in mind. One away here in the fourth inning. Runner in scoring position for Paul O'Neill. It's an 0-5. So on an 0-5, you notice the pitcher doesn't start until 10. On an 0-5, we look at the pitcher chart. So this is where you can get wild pitches or all kinds of pass balls, things like that. So we look at the pitcher's card and the pitcher's chart. We just roll one 10-sided dice. So we'll look at the first die, which is the red one. That is a number 1. Number 1 is no result, return to normal play. Otherwise, the pitcher could balk or throw a wild pitch. So a 1 is nothing, so we're just going to redo it. So back to Paul O'Neill and Doug Drabeck. And it's a 23, so coming after Drabeck, 49 lefty versus a lefty, 49. So that's going to be a ground ball B. It's hit to position 3. He is a lefty. That is to first base. So it's going to be a ground ball to first base. And advancing to third on the play is Whittingham. So 2-away, runner in scoring position for Cincinnati. That brings up Eric Davis. Eric Davis walked his first time up to give Cincinnati their first man on the base paths. Eric Davis could tie it up with one swing of the bat here. That's a 0-1. So once again, we're going to be looking at a special chart. We look at 91. That's a special results chart. So we're actually going to pull up the special results chart and roll on that. And it happens to be an 80. So ball gets by catcher for pass ball. All runners advance one base. Ignore if bases are empty. Bases are not empty, and that's going to score a run as the weird play ends up being a pass ball. So how do we do a pass ball? Now that's going to be interesting. How do we do a pass ball? Yep, there we go. So he's going to score, run on third, error on the catcher, pass ball, And that's going to score Cincinnati's first run of the game in E2 as Don Slaught that lets that one get by him from Draybeck in the dirt. Should have snared it, but he didn't. And Eric Davis will still be pitching, this time with the bases clear. So the walk comes back to hurt Doug Draybeck here in the bottom of the fourth. Cincinnati cuts into that lead 2-1. 96, so it's coming off of Davis. 22, right-hander. 2-2. That's going to be a single into center field. We got to check for an error on, not an error, a defensive check on Andy Van Slyke. He's got a defense of 94. So 94, just to make sure he doesn't make a bad play. 57. But that is going to be a, what did they say? It was a single, right? A single into center field. Davis, actually, that's right. There are 2 outs. Let's see, Eric Davis. Oops, we should have been on Hal Morris's card. But it did come off the pitcher's card anyways, so it didn't matter. Davis, he's got a run, speed. I keep calling it run, but it's speed. 79. There are 2 outs. It's a ball hit to center field. He's trying to go first to third. We subtract 10. So speed is going to be 69 minus the arm. 69 minus 6 is going to be 63% chance. He's just going to stop at second. All right, now that brings up Chris Sabo. Chris Sabo, the third baseman, struck out his first time up. Sabo looking to drive in some runs here. Runners at first and second, 2 away. Chris Sabo. 87, so once again off of the batter's card. 60, it might be too high against right-hander. 60, it's going to be a ground ball C. So it's an 8-7 with the right-hander up. Right-hander 7 is going to be down to third. We got to check a defense. Jeff King 86. So we got to see 87 or higher. It'll be a bobble there. It's a 42. So ground ball out. Doesn't matter because that's going to do it. But Cincinnati cuts in the lead. It's now 2-1. Going into the top of the fifth, almost halfway through. And we've been going for a while, but I'm trying to make this quick for you guys. So, all right, so top of the lineup for Pittsburgh. Tom Browning pitching the 5th inning here. And down 2-1. 92-19 against a lefty is going to be a single in the left field. Left field is Bonds. Make sure he's got a defense of 95. And that's a 0-7. So single in the left, no error on the play. Reedus steals 78, takes him down to a 60. 60%. Jay Bell up. Could try to bunt him over. No one out here. Jay Bell has walked twice so far. Once in the first, once in the second. Yeah, I think you got a better shot of bunting him over than, but then you take, Steal 78 minus 18. 18 is a lot to go down. Jesus. It was only 8. Like, when you're up against Pittsburgh, you would have a 70% chance. I think they're gonna they're just gonna play it straight up. I think. I don't even think they're gonna try and bunt him over. Number 2 hitter. Not in the 5th inning, probably. If it was like the 7th or 8th inning, maybe I would bunt him, but it's a little early to be bunting for trying to get a lead. 42, so it's off of Browning. 76 against a righty. 7-6. That's going to be a flyout. 76 flyout for a right-hander. 76 versus, yeah, it's going to be a flyout. Browning. It's going to be a fly ball out to left field, and that's going to be it. Van Slyke, 1 for 2 with a single in the 2nd, strikeout in the 1st. Browning starting to settle down here in the middle innings. 53, so off of Tom Browning's card, 63 lefty. 6-3 lefty is going to be a ground ball C, which is a slow roller. 63 with a runner on first. We'll have to see where it goes. So it is a 3. It's going to the pitcher. I'm sorry, 3 is going to be the first baseman, actually. So it's going to the first base. So I got to look at my runners on. It was a grounder. It was a slow grounder. It was a C, slow grounder, man on first. Batter out at first, runner safe at second. Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. So it's going to be a ground ball down to first base, and going to second. Okay, that brings up Bobby Bonilla. 2 away here in the 5th inning. Runner is now on second, scoring position. Gary Reedus. It was thrown out at the plate by Eric Davis in the 2nd inning. 18, so it's coming off of Browning's card. 71 versus a right-hander. That's going to be a line out. 71 is going to be a line out 8. Line out 8 with a right-hander. It's going to be to center field. So it's going to go out a fly ball to center. And doesn't matter because we're going on to the bottom of the 5th inning. And Draybeck's coming back out. Facing off against Joe Oliver. Oliver struck out in the 3rd. '81, so it's coming off Oliver's card. 45, right-hander. 45, that's going to be a strikeout. Another strikeout for Draybeck. Mariano Duncan, he grounded to 3rd his first time up. 99, so it's coming off Duncan's card, but 82, right-hander, is going to be a flyout. 82 flyout for righty. He's going to fly out, pop it up to the catcher, actually. And brings up the pitcher. And they're going to now, let's see. They'll be going in the 6th inning. So, Tom Browning. Yeah, I think you're going to have to leave him in there. Yeah, they're going to leave him in there. No sense pulling him right now. So two outs, bottom of 5th. 0-3, so we got a special thing. It's a 45. 45 is a range check. So following our first range check. So first die tells us which position. No, first percentile dice tells us which position. And then the second percentile tells us whether or not they made their check. 74 is going to be left fielder. So left fielder range is going to be Barry Bonds. He's got a range of 92, 78, so he makes the range play, and it's going to be a fly ball into left as Barry Bonds quickly covers ground and makes the catch, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning, and just like that, we're on to the sixth. That was very easy. Popped it in quick and short and sweet there. All right, that brings up Mr. Bonds. Speaking of Barry Bonds, he's now up. He's 1 for 2. He got a single in the third, but was caught stealing the base by Joe Oliver. Tom Browning trying to keep things under control here in the sixth inning for Cincinnati. It's a 0-9, so once again, we're going to go on the special chart. 56 is going to be another range check. Same thing as we just had. Let's see if Cincinnati's defense is up to the challenge. It is a 21. 21 is going to be the first base. So first baseman range is going to be 80 for Hal Moore, 72, but it's going to be a ground ball. Hit down to first. 1 out. That brings up Jeff King, 0 for 2. Lined at second and then grounded in front of the pitcher, or in front of the catcher, sorry. That's 16, so this one's off of Browning, 60 righty. 60 righty is a ground ball. It's going to be a 0 on a right-hander ground out. That's going to be short. Okay, ground ball to short. And 2 quick outs. Brings up Don Slott, struck out and walked. Don Slott. 0-1, once again, special chart 45, range check. So I think this is like the second time it's actually the third time in the last 4 rolls we've had to do a range check. Twice for Cincinnati now. So 59 tells us it is. 59 is going to be the shortstop. So shortstop for Cincinnati is Larkin. He's got a range of 89. It is a 27, so it's just going to be a ground ball. Hit to the shorts. And that's going to do it. Another 1-2-3 quick inning. Boom, boom, boom. I like it. I like these quick innings like that. We're on to the 7th. I'm sorry, we're on the bottom of 6. What am I thinking? We're in the bottom of 6. 2 up is Barry Larkin, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Let's bring up Barry Larkin's card here. 0 for 2, Barry Larkin. See if he can get things going for the Reds here. 28, Drabek. 88, that's going to be way too high. It's going to be a fly out. 88, fly out with a righty up. It's going to be a fly out, just pop up to second base. No error check needed as it came off Drabek's card. So Larkin goes 0 for 3. Herm Winningham, lefty. It's a 79, so it's coming up for Herm. 41, right-hander. 41 is a strikeout. Another strikeout by Drabek. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts for Drabek. And 2 away here for Paul O'Neill, who can tie things up, though. Against right-handers, 37 to 40 is what you want to see on that second roll. It's a 90, though. 46 is off of Drabek, so it doesn't matter. 90 is going to be way too high. 90 for a lefty is going to be to left field. We just have to make sure. I know it came off the pitcher, so it's going to be a fly ball out to left field, and that's a 1-2-3. These innings are going quick now. Again, when you don't have these pesky runners to worry about, and when you don't have to look up charts and you don't have to spend extra time rolling. All right, so Tom Browning through 6. We're on to 7. They are going to pull Browning. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're going to pull Browning. They're going to bring in Rob Dibble here. Let's see here. So we got us a new pitcher coming in. Rob Dibble is going to come in. He's going to bat ninth. Actually, hang on a second. Cincinnati, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, yeah. He was only going to be in 2 innings anyways. So now would be a good time to do it. So a new pitcher, Rob Dibble. He's going to bat ninth. And Jose Lynn is going to be facing Rob Dibble. There he is. So there's Rob. Lefties 190, 185, righties 181. He's a 10 through 78 control freak. Jose Lind. That's a 44, so off of Dibble 70, right-hander 70. That's a ground ball 0 for a righty. Is going to be short, so ground ball out to short. 1 away. That brings up the pitcher spots. So they're going to leave Drabek in, though. Drabek did pitch a complete game here. So I'm going to try and leave him, as opposed to Cincinnati, who didn't. I'm going to try and leave Drabek in, not because I'm trying to do exactly what happened in real life, but I'm trying to replicate, the same kind of situation. Manager feels like we're up. We've got our best pitcher in. Let's leave him in until he can't handle it anymore. So until he gets into trouble, then we'll pull him. 12-12. So that's going to be off of Dibble. 12 against they're both right-handed hitters. So a 12 actually against a righty is going to be a single into right field. So Drabek helping his own cause with a single into right field past the diving Mariano Duncan at second base. That brings up Gary Reedus, who's 2 for 3 with 2 singles. 2 for 3 with 2 singles. '63, so Drabek's 87. 87 for the right-hander. Right-hander 87. That's going to be fly ball to first base. I'm sorry. Let's change that from first base. Thank you. Hit the wrong button. And Drabek's going to stay on. So 2 away. Brings up Jay Bell. Jay Bell's walked twice, so he's officially 0 for 1. Has not scored a run, though. 37 dribble, 91 right-hander. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. So fly ball, center field, center, 91, center, yes. And that's going to do it. So we're on to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time. Take me out to the ball game. Oh, take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never come back, 'cause it's root to root for either Pittsburgh or Cincinnati, whoever you like better. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, it's 2, it's 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. All right, Eric Davis versus Doug Drabek, righty-righty. That's a 12. That's off of Drabek. 60 versus a right-hander. That's ground ball to 0 for righty. It's going to be a short. Ground ball short and 1 away. Hal Morris, 2-1 ball game here. Pittsburgh's up, trying to take a 2-0 series lead. Hal Morris, lefty. He did bat .376 against righties, 29 off Drabek. 0-5 though is a walk. So a walk. Waka. And Hal Morris, steal, 59. He's going to lose 8. So it's a 50-50 shot. I don't think you take a 50-50 shot. But you know what they are going to do? They're going to put on the hit and run. Yeah, baby. Chris Sabo. He's got some contact. That's what you use. So he's a 90 to 94 hit run chart. Here we go. Off on the pitch is going to be Hal Morris. Lou Piniella keeping aggressive here. Chris Sabo swinging at the first pitch. Off on the run goes Hal Morris. Let's see what happens. Just one simple percentile roll to see what happens. It's a 30. So 27 to 31 is a double. So Chris Sabo gets a double. All runners score on the double. The hit and run works as Cincinnati gets a double off of from Chris Sabo. And coming all the way around to score, Hal Morris on the beautiful hit and run. And we got us a tie ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. I think it was my wonderful singing that inspired Cincinnati there. Sabo now on second base. He's got some pretty good speed. And, I think Drabek will try to stay in. They have a righty coming up, Joe Oliver, and then another righty. Yeah, they're going to leave in Drabek here. He's only given up one hit. They did tie the game, but, whatever. 26 off of Drabek, 36 right-hander. That's a strikeout. So a little bit mad he gave up that hit to Sabo. And strikes out. Oops, didn't matter. That was should have been Mariano Duncan's card actually. So brings up the Reds pitcher spot. No, I'm sorry. That was Joe Oliver that was up. He struck out. Sorry, it was off of Drybek's card, so it didn't matter what the card was. But yeah, Mariano Duncan now 2 away. Runner at second. Yeah. Sabo taking a pretty big lead out there, almost daring him to pick him off. Mariano Duncan, Doug Drabek. 70, so it's coming off of Duncan. 83, though, that's going to be too hard. 83, fly out, right-hander. That's going to be a fly out to first. Fly out to first, and that's going to do it, but the score is tied. 2-2. In the 8th inning, Dibble comes back out. Now his spot is due up first in the next inning, so this will be the last inning for Dibble. He'll be facing off against Andy Van Slyke. Andy is 1 for 3, a strikeout in the first, single in the second, and hit down to first in the 5th. Andy Van Slyke. 45, so Dibble 66 lefty. That's a ground ball. A 6. That's going to be the shortstop. Ground ball to short. 1 away. Bobby Bonilla versus right-handers. Hit 18 home runs. 296 average. Bobby Bowe versus Rob Dibble. 31, so off of Dibble's 76 again, real high lefty. So 76 lefty, 76 lefties pop up to the shortstop, fly out to the short. So 2 away, and Barry Bonds 1 for 3 with a single in the 3rd. Barry Bonds 296 versus right-handers. They just can't get off of Dibble's card. He's got such a huge range. Control is incredible. 83, this time it's on. And they walk Barry Bonds with a 0-2. So walking Bonds. And is Bonds going to try to steal? 91. Ooh, actually Dibble's a +8 to steal on. So it goes to 99, and then you subtract the catcher, which is 8. So 99 versus -8 is a 91. So it's a +8 -8. So pluses are bad because it adds. Minuses are good. So it's a straight steal at 91. So Barry Bonds obviously going to try for the steal here. 91, and away he goes. 13, he's in there safe. Barry Bonds. Now, he could actually try to steal third. If we look at that chart, it is a, let's see here. Where's my steal chart? Hit and run, sacrifice, one for a hit. Special chart 2, special chart 3. Oh. I think it's actually in the rules. Bunting for a base hit. Oh, bunting here. That's a squeeze bunt, though. Hit and run. There's the sacrifice chart. There's bunting for a base hit. There's also squeeze play bunting. I'm going to check the rules real quick. I think it's like if you try to steal third, it's like minus 20. Let's see. Well, let's just see. Give me just a second. We're going to take a quick timeout. Mountain Dew commercial comes on. All right. Baseball rules. Dice baseball. Let's see what it says here, shall we? Right. Stealing. Right. There's the rating. Blah, blah, blah. Out of play. Blah, blah, blah. Flyouts. Special plays. Stealing bases. Right. All right. Stealing third. Minus 30 from the runner's rating. Then proceed as normal. And only runners with the stealing rating 80 or higher can attempt to steal home. But look, you got to roll in this chart. So you got a 4% chance of being safe. Or actually, that's a 5%. You got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got a 5% chance of being safe. 1 in 20. All right, but it is, what did we decide? It was minus 30 or minus, what was it? Minus 30 from your run rating. Right. So he's actually a 91. You subtract 30 from that. You still 61% chance to get to third base. I mean, the only advantage to going to third would be if wild pitch or pass ball, you'd be able to come in. But I don't think it's worth it. So Barry Bonds with the stolen base. Jeff King's going to come up. Let me come back to the YouTube channel. Make sure. Oh, my friend Clinton Parks is here. Hello, 2-2 tie. Yes, sir. 2-2 tie. It's in the top of the 8th inning. I know it's kind of cut off there a little bit. Barry Bonds, though, with the walk and then the steal of second base. Rob Dibble out. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. How come Clinton Parks hasn't signed up for his interview yet? I want to know. And just so you know, we're having our first interview tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Retro Sports Network here on my channel. We're going to be interviewing Ron Juckett and talking with him. So Clinton Parks, you need to get on the ball and make sure you sign up for your interview time. So Rob Dibble, Jeff King. Jeff King versus right-handers, not very good. Hang on a minute. No roll, no roll. Let me see if Pittsburgh made any substitutions. Actually, they did. R.J. Reynolds came in. So R.J., because Jeff King, we talked about him earlier, not very good against right-handers. So they actually pulled him and brought in R.J. Reynolds. So we're actually going to have... Oh, this is where things can get a little wanky because we're going to be putting in a new player in a different position, though. So If we go to, it's not going to be a pinch hitter. We want to, what's this? Insert new batter into lineup. Right, so we're going to bring in an R.J. Reynolds. And he is actually going to take over. See, this is where we're going to run into problems. Because he actually takes over in right field. And they move Bobby Bonilla from right field to third base. And if I hit OK, what it'll say is you've already have a right fielder, right? Is that what's going to happen? And then how do I go into the manager here? Until Bobby Bonilla, you're now going to play third base? No, change displayed position. There we go. Change. So Bobby, oh, there we go. All right, sir. Did everything worked? Everything? Oh my God, I can't believe I figured it out. Thank you, Lord. So R.J. Reynolds is actually going to be coming in here. This is a golden opportunity for Pittsburgh, so I don't want to screw them up here. So we need to get R.J. Reynolds and copy his card, copy it. All right. He's going to be taking over into the 6th spot. 6. And we're going to be taking Jeff King's card out. And now we're going to actually use this one here. All right, so there we go. Make the switch. We're all good. Clint Parks, sign up for your damn interview time. Seriously. Is he eligible to play that position? Who? Reynolds? Yeah, he's Reynolds, right fielder. Yep, 93-88 -1. Bobby Bonilla. Let's just check Bobby Bonilla. Yep, third base. He actually played 14 games at third base, believe it or not. He played 149 games in right field and then moved into third base for 14 games, or started 14 games, or at least played third base in 14 games. He played first base in 3 games. So R.J. Reynolds is coming in, switch hitter, facing off against Rob Dibble. R.J. Reynolds. Beats would know. What do you mean Beats would know? Beats don't know nothing. What are you talking about? He hasn't signed up for his interview either. I'm not mad at both of you. R.J. Reynolds, Rob Dibble. Here we go. Bottom of 9, runner in scoring position. Barry Bonds, he's waiting on the pitch. And away we go. It's 73, so it's still off of Dibble's card, but it's a 20 against a lefty. And that's going to be a double into left field. Double into left field, and coming in to score, Barry Bonds, as a perfect play by Jim Leyland, pulling all the right strings at all the right times. Jim Leyland striking there. Big hit, and the Riverfront Stadium lets out a big oh as Pittsburgh takes a 3-2 lead here. And brings up Don Slott, who walked, struck out, and grounded to short. Runner still in scoring position with 2 away. Rob Dibble giving up the lead here in the top of the 8th. 92, so that's coming off of Slott's card. 97. 97, though. 97 is a deep fly ball to right field, so that is a special. That is a special where you got to look at the ballpark chart. 97, 98, 99. So 97, 98, 99 are all specials. He rolls a 97. So that one is going to deep left field. We look at the, where is it? It's for Cincinnati Riverfront Stadium. We check the power rating of the hitter, who happens to be Don Slott. He's got a power rating, only 56. So 56 is going to be 00 to 09. That one is gone. 00 to 09. It's going, gone. Otherwise, it's caught deep. And runners would advance a base automatically, but unfortunately, it doesn't matter because there's 2 out. He rolled his 72, so not deep enough by Don Slott. And it's going to just be a deep fly to left field. And Barry Bonds, I'm sorry, that's going to be Eric Davis catches it at the warning track up against the wall. And that's going to do it for the top of the 8th. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Doug Drabeck still pitching. And he'll be facing off. He'll be facing off against a really tall card there, I guess. He'll be facing off against a pinch hitter and then the top of the lineup. So we know we're getting a pinch hitter. Now the question is, who is the pinch hitter? Mind you, everything clicked together and I found the project, so I should have been doing since day one. Mind you, Wednesday at 9? Me and you? Wednesday at 9? I could probably do that. You want to do a Wednesday? I need you still to email me, though, because I have to send you the link. If I don't have your email, I can't send you the link, right? So, yeah, we can plan Wednesday at 9 if that's good for you. Mind you, everything clicked together. And I found the project I should have been doing since day one. So what is this? Don't tell me. Don't tell me what the project is. Let's surprise everyone during your interview and you can talk about it, okay? That'll be a good subject for us to get into. All right, so Cincinnati. What are we doing with Cincinnati? So coming in, who's coming in? That's a good question. Somebody's got to come in against Drabeck, preferably a left-hander. Let's see who we have. Baseball, dice baseball, Cincinnati. Who do we have? I think Roy Oster's he's a switch hitter. Ron Oster is coming in to pinch hit here. Ron Oster. Anything in the scorecard? I don't know what you mean by anything in the scorecard. Sorry. Anything in the scorecard. No, I need you to email me, Clinton Parks. I watched my video. I talk about my email address like 16 times in there. I'm not going to remember what your email is. Anything in the box score. I still don't know what you're talking about, brother. No. In the real life game, no. Cincinnati made no changes, so I'm making this up on the fly here. Cincinnati didn't replace anybody, so. Clinton, I'm not giving you my email address. You're going to go find it, and you're going to watch the video. More Boston shenanigans, I swear. So we got us a new pinch hitter coming in. This is going to be Ron Oster. Batted very reasonable, 298 against right-handers. He didn't hit any home runs, but his job isn't to hit a home run. His job is to get on base. He does have pretty good speed, 73. 73. Yeah, I know. Like I always say, I mean, if you can't play the game exactly like it was played in real life because your game is going to turn out different. You just try to use the players. But if you can't and you need an emergency pitcher, and like Drabeck's still in the game because he pitched a full game. But if he runs into problems, I'm going to pull him and put a new pitcher in because that's what the manager would do. So I try to follow along with what the manager would do. So that's 53-71. It's still going to be a line out. So lines out. The switch hitter 71. So 71, who's he lining out to? He lines out to the pitcher. Lines out to the pitcher, one away. So Oyster's going to be done. And we're back to the top of the lineup. Barry Larkin. Bobby, what's going on? Swing, batter, swing. Stay right 3. No, not so far. Not so fast, my friend. Doug Drabek, Barry Larkin. One away here in the bottom of the 8th. Pittsburgh 3, Cincinnati 2. 17th coming off of Drabek. 52 right-hander. 52 right-hander. 52 is going to be a dribble in front of the plate. And the catcher comes out. It's going to ground out to the catcher again on the 2. So Barry Larkin, 2 away for Herm Winningham, lefty. Herm Winningham. Still facing off against Doug Drabek. Well, thanks for joining us there, Bobby. I do appreciate it. 43. That's coming off of Drabek. 71 again. That's another line out. So Drabek is just 71. Yep. And another to the pitcher. He lined out to the pitcher. So he lined out to the pitcher. He had a ground ball to the catcher, and then he lined out to the pitcher. What a terrible inning for Cincinnati. All right, so now we need a new pitcher, and we know who's coming in. New pitchers coming in for Cincinnati here in the top of the 9th. Everyone knows who it is. Who is it? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Who's it gonna be? Dun, dun, dun. There he is, Randy Myers. That's who. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Cincinnati's going to have one more inning. Hopefully, Randy Myers. There he is, left-hander, closer. 181 versus lefties, 197 versus right-handers. He's going to be facing off against Jose Lind. Jose Lind. So, looks like with Drabek's spot coming up, they're going to pull Drabek and put in their closer in the 9th, which didn't happen in reality, but that's what you don't know him. That's what the manager Leland would have done. So Jose Lind, righty, versus Randy Myers, lefty. He only batted .228 versus left-handers, but he's going to be in there for his defense. Let's see what happens. Top of 9th, 0-6, and a pitcher. So 1-0 would have been a pitcher, but since there's no one on base, you just ignore it because it's only that would have been the time for a wild pitch right there. Randy Myers throws it wild and goes off the bricks in the backstop. It's a 0-4, 65, which is actually going to be a range check. So somebody's getting a range check here. So first number tells us 74. 74 is going to be left field. Let's see. That's going to be Eric Davis. He's got a range of 84. 43 makes it. So it's going to be a fly ball to left. One away. Drabek's position's up, but they're going to be putting a pinch hitter in for Drabek because that's what I would do, and that's what the manager of Pittsburgh would have done. Let's see, who came in for Pittsburgh? They made a bunch of changes. So, let's see. Sid Bream, thinking. Sid Bream, is he a lefty? Yes, he is a lefty. They're going to be bringing in Sid Bream. Yeah, Sid Bream. So we have us a pinch hitter. So Drabek out, Sid Bream in. Sid Bream lefty versus Randy Myers lefty. But he's got a little bit of pop to him, so he's got some power, 77, not bad speed, 72 if he can get on. he can make something happen for Pittsburgh here. So 36, so it's coming off a Myers card. 22 versus lefties, a single into right field. So he gets a single. And let's see, he's a -10 hold. The catcher, Oliver's a -8, so you subtract 18 from 51. Yep, Sid Bream probably not going anywhere. And that's going to bring up the top of the lineup here for Pittsburgh. Oop, stop. There you go. Randy Myers in a little bit of trouble here. Let's see. 1 on, 1 out. Yeah, that's nothing. 1 on, no outs. Oh, let me bring up the chat. I had to move the chat away. Don't want to miss all the wonderful conversations going on. Miss Bobby, how are you? Asked Clinton. Hey, Clinton, I'm doing okay. Thank you. How about you? That's how Bobby talks. Bobby said, or Clinton says, doing all right, adding baseball photos to my digital diamond database. And Bobby says, I don't know what that is. Is that any fun? It's only fun if you're like a 60-year-old man there, Bobby. So no. Gary Redis, he's 2 for 4 on the day. Runner at first, Sid Bream. And that is a 38, so off of Myers 79, though. That's going to be, versus a right-hander, it's going to be a line out, 79 line out. And 9 is going to be a right field line out. So fly ball to right. So he's going to stay on. So that brings up the second out. That brings up Jay Bell. There will be a payback for that one. One man on, 2 away here in the top of the 9th. The 60-year-old man is threatening me in the chat, so I have to behave myself. Jay Bell, he's walked twice and flew out to center field and left field so far. 69, Randy Myers, and that's going to be 94. 94 is not deep enough. It's going to be center field. A fly ball to center, and that's going to do it for Pittsburgh. And they're going to be bringing in a new pitcher. So, who, pray tell, was their closer saves? Well, first of all, I need to bring in the right one. All right. Saves. 1 save, 8 saves, 7. Just trying to look to see who their closer was. Terrible. I'm going to have to momentarily take a second here, as we're going to have to go into... I only got the pitchers that actually played out, so I'm going to have to actually go into the 1990 Pittsburgh Pirates. Go to the pitchers section. Find out who had all their saves. 2 saves, no save, no save, no save, no save, no save. No save. 13 saves. Now we're getting somewhere. 5 saves, 3 saves, 8 saves, and 7 saves. So I want to say Bill Landrum with 13 saves is about their bestest closester. The bestest closester. I'm thinking Landrum. Okay. So I was right. See how smart I am? I did that without even Clinton Park's help. But you got to give the old man a little bit of credit, because he knows his stuff. And Pittsburgh pitchers. Bill Landrum. There we go. All right. So, I mean, if you know this stuff, you know, as much as I make fun of you and tease you, if you know this stuff, it's still one up on you. So, all right, Bill Landrum. We're going to use this card now instead of this one. All right. So, Bill Landrum's coming in. Congratulations, Clinton Park, for knowing that. It took you long enough. No, give you credit. I wouldn't. I mean, if it was like, you know, who wants to be a millionaire? And that was my $1,000,000 question. Who was the closer for the 1980 Pittsburgh Pirates? I'd have been like, B, whoever B is. Because I have no idea. So do what? Paul O'Neill, Eric Davis, Hal Morris, heart of the lineup. They're going to come out and face off against Bill Landrum, the right-hander. If Cincinnati does not score, Pittsburgh is going to take a 2-0 series lead in this 1990 NLDS. Paul O'Neill, though, can swing it with the best of them. Let's see what he can do here. 73, that is just coming off a Landrum's card. 48, left-hander, 48. 48 is going to be a ground ball A. 8 is going to be with the lefty. 8 is going to be to second base. So ground ball, second baseman, one away. That brings up Eric Davis. Walked and got aboard by an error on the pitcher and the pass ball, and then grounded to shorts. So Eric Davis, right-hander matchup. We're not going to be pulling Eric Davis, who had 16 home runs against right-handers, batted .248. He's a wild swinger, too. He's a wild swinger. If you watch those games, good Lord, he swung it hard. 73, so it's coming off of Landrum just barely. 43, right-hander, 4-3. That's going to be a strikeout. Swinging like I'm swinging for the fence, but swinging at the Nietzsche, as Straight Automatic Delaware likes to say. And Cincinnati's down to their last out here at home. And if they fall down 2-0 at home, it's not looking good for the Reds. Hal Morris walked, single in the fourth, fly out to left field in the second. Hal Morris, he batted .376 against right-handers. Let's see, they're going to leave him in. I mean, pretty good average against right-handers. He's got 7 home runs. He's got a little bit of pop. Let's see what he can do here. 98, so it's coming off of his card, but 70 is going to be too hard. That's ground ball C, and that's going to do it. That's going to do it, as that is a ground ball to short. And that's going to, let's undo that. Hang on, undo. That should be a ground ball to short for the out. And there you go, and that's going to do it here for game number 2. A very exciting game, but interesting enough, both games have been the same exact score, 3-2. Pittsburgh pounds out 9 hits on 1 error and scored 3 runs. Cincinnati only 2 hits. Wow. Let's see who got their hits. It was a single by Morris and a double by Sabo, and that was how Cincinnati tied the game up. We put the hit and run on, and Sabo got a double, which scored the run from first to tie it up. So great pitching by Drabek there, Doug Drabek. Wonderful pitching, only giving up 2 hits and how many walks? Was there any? I'm sure there was a couple walks. Let's see. 1 walk, 2 walks, 3 walks, 2 hits. So 5 men aboard. That's all Cincinnati could muster at home. And the Pittsburgh Pirates take a 2-0 lead in the 1990 NLDS. And they go back home up 2-0. And we will see if Pittsburgh can continue this hot streak. Again, winning 3-2 here in Cincinnati. 2 runs in the second. Cincinnati scored a run in the fourth. Came right back in the bottom of the seventh after my wonderful singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game inspired them. They got a run to tie things up. And then Pittsburgh was not to be outdone in the 8th inning, top of the 8th. It started off with a ground ball to short by Andy Van Slyke, followed up by a fly ball to short by Bobby Bonilla. Then Barry Bonds walked, proceeded to steal second base, and then on the Jim Leyland switched out Jeff King for R.J. Reynolds, and Reynolds proceeded to hit a double, which scored Barry Bonds from second, and then a fly out by Don Slaught. And that will be the eventual game winner here. Well, there you go. That is going to be it here from Riverfront Stadium. The home crowd goes home upset and not enjoying watching their hometown team losing 3-2 in the first game and losing 3-2 in the second game. Well, everyone, Clinton Parks. Bobby, you were asked earlier, I think you were gone when I answered, but you asked, you didn't know what Clinton Parks had mentioned. He was adding baseball photos to his digital diamond baseball. And you had replied back that you didn't know what that was and asked if it was any fun. And then you said you'd be right back. I replied back and said, it's only fun if you're a 60-year-old man. Oh, that's the way things go here on my channel. You never know. But anyways, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Ron Junkett, our interview with Retro Sports Network. Be here for that 8 o'clock, and we'll get to interview Ron and get to talk to him about all kinds of stuff. I'm going to ask him all kinds of crazy stuff, and we're going to talk about Clinton Parks, which should be lots of fun. So hopefully you guys will be able to tune in then. A big shout out to Clinton Parks. Check out his channel, and Bobby as well for stopping by. I do appreciate everyone that came by to watch, and we will see you all next time, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night, Tuesday, 8 o'clock, for our interview of Ron Junkett. So we'll see everyone then. Until then, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.